Right, today is the last leg of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes, and during these last two Triple Crown races, the Preakness and the Kentucky Derby, what I usually did in terms of handicapping is looking at the races of the past of these horses. My thing is I used to do a lot of handicapping in terms of analysis, and that is sort of what I've been doing for big time races. But for the Derby and Preakness, I didn't. I just went to try to do some process of elimination in terms of bases of horses who I think, with their style of running and their record, could win the race. For the Kentucky Derby, I bet on Maximum Security. He was undefeated at the time, and he finished first. However, he was disqualified. For the Preakness, I picked another Twist of Fate, who actually won the El Camino Real Derby at Golden Gate Fields. However, he didn't finish up the track at the Preakness. For the Belmont, I'm going back to sort of my bread and butter when it comes to handicapping races. For the big race, I'm going with the pedigree, and in this case, you see a stallion profile Tapit, because that's what I'm going to use in terms of my analysis for the Belmont Stakes. So this is sort of the Tapit factor. So Tapit is a stallion who's a grandson of AP Indy, and AP Indy won the Belmont Stakes. In addition to that, AP Indy is a son of Seattle Slew, who's a Triple Crown winner. But with Tapit, the Tapit factor for the Belmont Stakes is that he has produced three Belmont Stakes winners, and I'm gonna go through, show some in terms of through the Blood Horse page, the sons that have won the Belmont Stakes. So here's a depiction of his Tapit's prodigy, and if you look sort of closely, I apologize for the glare if you see it, but he produced three sons that have won the Belmont Stakes. His first one was Tonalist, who won the 2014 Belmont Stakes in upsetting the bid for California Chrome's Triple Crown bid. And in 2016, Creator won the Belmont Stakes, and he was it was owned by Bobby Flay, celebrity chef. And in 2017 was Tapit, who won the Belmont Stakes. And Tapit, like his great grandfather AP Indy, was $1 million yearling who won the Belmont Stakes. So in the field there in the Belmont, there's three Tapit horses in the Belmont Stakes, and I'm going to show you the daily racing form in terms of who are the three horses that I'm planning to use in terms of my exactas and trifectas and exotics for the Belmont Stakes. All right, the first of these horses is Bourbon War. If you look at his race record, he hasn't really run that well. But because of he's one of three Tapits, I'm not going to use him for any as a win bet. But this is one of the Tapit horses in the Belmont Stakes, so that's one of the Tapit horses. The other Tapit horse in the state is Intrepid Heart. His last race was the Peter Pan, and I'll talk more about in terms of him. But he's another Tapit horse who's running the Belmont Stakes. And the last of the three Tapits is Tacitus. Tacitus in his last Kentucky Derby prep won the Wood Memorial. He finished fourth in a race. However, he was placed third due to the disqualification of Maximum Security, and I believe the favorites is going to be between Tacitus and War of Will, who won the Preakness. I mentioned about I was speaking more about Intrepid Heart, and the reason is because he's actually going to be my selection for the the Preakness. He is a half brother to Commissioner, and in terms of a relation, is that not only in terms of pedigree, they're both by APND line stallions. However, they also placed in the Peter Pan prior to the Belmont. Commissioner finished second in the Peter Pan and also finished second in the Belmont Stakes. Intrepid Heart, he was the favorite for the Peter Pan, but he ended up being third. And but that's one of the reasons why I picked. And I'm basis of pedigree is Intrepid Heart because he's a half brother to Commissioner. The other pedigree standpoint from Intrepid Heart is not only by Tapit, but he's also a great grandson of APND, who won the Belmont Stakes. So that's another aspect of in terms of pedigree background on Intrepid. And another reason why I picked Intrepid is because is in terms of pedigree is his dam side. I'm showing you a picture of Commissioner, the half brother Intrepid. But if you look at right here, I'm the Blood Horse pedigree page of his pedigree. Flaming Heart has produced a couple graded one placed sons. Commissioner, who finished second in the Belmont Stakes, and also Laugh Track, who actually was second in a Breeders' Cup race. But the one thing I wanted to point out in terms of apologize for the win is Heartlear, and the second dam of not only Commissioner but of Intrepid Heart. So Hotlear and APND have something in common. If you look at Hotlear's pedigree or her race record, she's actually ran a race at Bay Meadows and actually has won. So here it is, to make it a little clearer. Sorry about that. But so she won at Bay Meadows, and APND actually won his second race at Bay Meadows. So you have a Bay Area, in a connection in terms of Intrepid, in terms of the pedigree, through the sire line of the APND line, and through the female family side of Intrepid. So with Heartlear and APND running and winning at Bay Meadows Racetrack, which was in San Mateo, I'm picking Intrepid, and I placed a bet across the board. Actually, last night I went to the Jockey Club in San Mateo and placed a bet. So it was open late last night, Friday, until like 11 p.m. But I made a bet last night. So Intrepid is across the board that I plan to use, or I not plan to use. I did bet win, place, and show. So finishes first, second, third, I get some money. I also, in terms of the three Tapits, I also did an exacta box on Bourbon War, Intrepid Heart, Tacitus, and also a trifecta box on Bourbon War, Intrepid Heart, and Tacitus. And I also, with the APND line, I used I bet on a super fecta box on four horses. Not only those three Tapits, but I also, let me show you right here. I also selected. I also selected, in terms of my trifecta, here it is. Also, for the AP line for my superfecta, I had Everlast. And Everlast is an intriguing horse because once in a while he'll run like second in some big races, such as the Fountain of Youth, which is a Kentucky Derby prep, and the Preakness. He was a second. So in terms of exacta trifecta box, that's superfecta. He's my fourth horse in terms of the APND line. So I'm going back to where I ended, where I'm ending, where I first started, is the Tapit factor. So for the Belmont Stakes, I said three. There's sorry, excuse me. Said three Tapit horses who ran the Belmont: Bourbon War, Intrepid Heart, and Tacticus. And out of the three, I'm going to pick Intrepid Heart. Uh, I placed a $20 bet, a $20 across the board, so that's $60 right there. And for the exacta box, I did a $1 exacta box, the three Tapits, and also a 50-cent trifecta box on the three Tapits, and a 10-cent superfecta box, not only the three Tapits but also the another AP Indy line horse. But that is my analysis in terms of this race. I'm using the Tapit factor for the Belmont Stakes, and yeah. So for those who go into Belmont to make a bet, good luck, and that's. I hope this year it turns out that the Tapit factor will play a part in the Belmont Stakes.